What had his 20 means in Reacher Season 3? In Reacher Season 3's Episode 4, Jack Reacher uses the phrase had his 20 while describing his team's mission to track down Quinn. Since the phrase is not so commonly used, many viewers may be curious about what it means. The Amazon Prime Video detective series has received wide acclaim for more than one reason. While many have appreciated its action choreography, others have commended how perfectly Alan Ritchson embodies Jack Reacher. Viewers familiar with Lee Child's original Jack Reacher books have also praised the show for staying loyal to its source material while etching its own distinct identity. Although Reacher is not specifically known for its dialogue, the show features some memorable one-liners highlighting how, even though the Alan Ritchson character usually prefers not to speak much, his words are impactful and driven by purpose every time he utters them. Since everything Jack Reacher says has a solid meaning, viewers may be wondering why he says, "at his 20" in Reacher Season 3's Episode 4. At his 20 means Reacher's crew was tracking his location. While explaining how he and his team caught Quinn red-handed, Reacher says that after Quinn illegally exchanged military documents with criminal external forces, they kept a close eye on him and even recorded the entire process on video. He adds that one of his men, Frasconi, also followed Quinn, so they always had his 20. As Jack Reacher's statement suggests, had his 20 means they always knew Quinn's whereabouts after the exchange because Frasconi was tracking him down. Its use stems from the CB Citizens band radio code, where 10 to 20 translates to location. Although had his 20 is not exactly a well-known phrase, its use is common among military and police personnel. Its use stems from the CB Citizens band radio code, where 10 to 20 translates to location. Reacher uses the phrase to highlight that he and his team had Quinn's exact location with evidence of his crime after he made the exchange. Everything had gone according to plan for them, and they only had to wait for a green flag to carry out his arrest. Throughout the Prime Video show's runtime, Jack Reacher uses many similar military phrases, highlighting how jargon from law enforcement is a significant part of his character. His usage of these terminologies not only reflects his vast military background, but also emphasizes how he always keeps a tactical mindset in grave situations. The Alan Ritchson character's backstory reveals that even before he joined the military police, he lived in military base camps across the globe because his father was a captain in the U.S. Marine Corps. Since he was raised in a military environment, Reacher's worldview was shaped by the discipline and sense of order adopted in the defense services. These early experiences seemingly paved the way for him to eventually join the military police and embrace the lifestyle of a soldier. Under the guidance of senior officers like Leon Garber, Jack Reacher gradually learned the ways of the military, which were so deeply ingrained in him that he continued adopting them long after his retirement. Owing to this, even while recalling an operation from his day in the military, the character cannot help but use military jargon in Reacher Season 3's Episode 4. One of the most compelling aspects of Reacher, both the Amazon Prime Video series and Lee Child's long-running novels, is its no-nonsense embrace of military jargon, cop slang, and procedural lingo. These are not just throwaway phrases for flavor. They shape the world Jack Reacher moves through, lending authenticity to the character and the universe he inhabits. In Season 3 of Reacher, one such phrase makes a notable appearance, had his 20. For casual viewers, it might come and go as another curt line of dialogue. For fans of crime fiction, military thrillers, and especially those who have devoured the Reacher books, it stands out as a telling detail, a small yet significant window into how Reacher and those around him operate. But what exactly does had his 20 mean, and why is it so effective in the context of Reacher Season 3? Breaking down the phrase. First, let's get literal. 20 in this context is shorthand for 10 to 20, a code derived from the 10 codes used by law enforcement and military communications, particularly over radio. The 10 codes were originally developed by the Association of Public Safety Communications Officials APCO in the late 1940s as a standardized way to convey common phrases succinctly. 10 to 20 specifically means location. So when someone says they had his 20, they mean they had or knew his location. While 10 codes have evolved and are not universally standardized today, phrases like, "What's your 20?" meaning, "Where are you?" have long transcended police departments and CB radios to enter popular slang. For Jack Reacher, a former military police major with deep roots in military procedure, using phrases like this feels second nature. His allies, whether fellow military veterans, intelligence operatives, or federal agents, often speak the same language. Why Had His 20 matters in Season 3. Season 3 of Reacher adapts Persuader, the 7th book in Lee Child's series. It plunges Reacher deep undercover in one of his most dangerous and personal missions, infiltrating the criminal enterprise of Zachary Beck to dismantle an arms smuggling operation and confront an old nemesis presumed dead. Surveillance, counter-surveillance, and intelligence gathering are core components of the storyline. Reacher is not just fighting thugs in alleys, he's navigating a chessboard of locations, identities, and hidden threats. In one key scene, both in the novel and cleverly adapted for the series, Reacher's allies, who are monitoring him from a distance, use the phrase "had his 20" to refer to tracking his whereabouts after he goes dark for several hours. The phrase encapsulates tension. Did they lose him? Is he compromised? Do they have eyes on him again? In Reacher's world, knowing someone's location isn't just casual information. It's often the difference between life and death. The flavor of authenticity. One of the defining elements of the Reacher series, and particularly Alan Ritchson's portrayal, is the show's commitment to grounded, authentic action. The jargon isn't flashy or overly stylized. It reflects how real-life operatives, police, and military professionals communicate. Saying "we had his 20" is quicker, sharper, and more realistic than spelling it out as "we knew where he was." This is where fans of Lee Child's books recognize and appreciate the detail. Reacher's inner monologue in the novels is often peppered with references to standard operating procedures, military tactics, and crisp, shorthand thinking. Translating that onto the screen can be tricky. Inner thoughts don't always make for dynamic television. But phrases like "had his 20" are the screenwriter's version of showing, not telling. It signals to the audience that these characters are professionals operating on a different wavelength. A nod to book fans. For longtime readers of the Reacher novels, hearing terms like "had his 20" is a subtle nod to how deeply the showrunners understand the material. Lee Child meticulously researched military and police practices when creating Reacher, and many of his novels include dialogue laden with authentic procedural language. By preserving that tone in the series, the creators are signaling respect for the source material, a key reason why Reacher has resonated with both new viewers and veteran fans. This isn't just fan service for the sake of it. Jack Reacher is a man defined by precision, control, and habit. His military background shaped how he sees the world, how he assesses threats, and how he communicates. The use of "had his 20" reinforces Reacher's natural environment, a place where information is currency and words are wielded with economy. Beyond just jargon, on a thematic level, "had his 20" echoes one of the underlying tensions of Reacher Season 3, the question of control. Reacher, a man who drifts from town to town by choice, is suddenly embroiled in a scenario where his movements are being tracked, both by allies and enemies. The phrase reminds us that in this world, no one's location is truly secret, and being off-grid can be as dangerous as being in plain sight. The phrase also subtly speaks to Reacher's paradox. He's a loner, but his